Yeah, yeah. I can't get no racks to you. I don't really care, cause I'm done. Y'all know real love is not fun.
Okay, everyone, very excited on the Ball Out podcast to have our first ever guest. Our guest will be very well known to most of our viewers and followers. Before we chat, let me tell you a bit about our guest. He represented Queensland in under 16s and under 18s, played in the Queensland Basketball League, has coached the Queensland under 18 boys to a silver medal in 2018, won QBL Coach of the Year in 2018, and is now the State Performance Manager for Basketball Queensland. Welcome, Luke Cann.
Jeez. Ooh, thanks for that. Appreciate it, man. Good to be here, fellas.
Good, Luke.
It's really cool what you guys are doing. So just want to support you guys as much as I can.
Thanks. Okay, I touched up on some of your accomplishments. Can you tell us more about yourself and your basketball journey?
Yeah, man. I guess it's kind of weird. Like, you don't really talk about it that much. I'm a bit of a has-been or never was, but yeah, kind of what you said was kind of it. Like, played for Queensland basically from primary school all the way through. Made it every year. Kind of had some really good times. Obviously had dreams of kind of playing in college, playing in NBL, doing all that kind of stuff like everybody else does. And had to navigate the life that is basketball. So, man, exactly what you said. Again, played for Queensland. I loved every minute of that. It was the coolest thing ever. Looking back on it, I think it's something that I took for granted a little bit. Probably didn't realise how cool it was at the time, and now that's just something that I'm trying to kind of instill in everybody else, that it's kind of like a privilege to play for Queensland, and not everyone gets to do it. So when I was younger, obviously doing that was cool. Obviously having college aspirations, went on to that like everybody else, had some offers. We won the national title in under 20s, which is really cool. I was a role player. I didn't play much, but got recruited from that. And then I tore my knee up pretty bad 2 weeks after. So never really kind of took up my Division 1 college schooling just because of the injury. And then just ended up kind of getting a college degree over here and choosing the path of coaching and trying to do that stuff. So, everything happens for a reason, I guess. And now I'm here with you guys on a Saturday afternoon talking basketball and NBA. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Luke. Hi, Bodie here. Just a few questions.
Oh, hi, Bodie.
Us and the boys. What's your favorite NBA team and why?
Yeah, fellas, I'm really excited to talk NBA with you guys. Like, it's cool because, obviously you guys coach, but at the same time, I'm an NBA fan. I'm a basketball fan just like you guys. I was a kid just like you guys, and it's really cool that you guys are kind of doing this, as I said earlier. But my favorite team is a bit of it left of center, and nobody goes for this team. There's a couple of people I know that go for it, but my team I go for is because my neighbour, when I used to live in Victoria back in the day, used to go for this team and used to have a jersey, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and he gave it to me, so I used to go for him. So I go for the San Antonio Spurs. Like I said, not the most glamorous team, but what it does.
That's a good team still.
They're solid, man. I mean, I never said I liked watching them play. But yeah. I enjoy how they've been successful and how they've done it. But yeah, that's my favorite team. Do I like watching them play? No, not really. But and it's Spurs, boys.
Hey Luke, it's Elijah here. What was your favorite basketball moment? NBA basketball moment.
NBA basketball moment. I don't really know. Like, it's weird. When I was kind of your age, I used to watch like you guys do. I used to watch it for like the players and like the cool stuff. I think for me it was probably like Allen Iverson taking the Philly team to the finals.
That's
Against
tough.
The Lakers. I think it was the Lakers. Yeah, Lakers.
Yeah.
Pretty much just by himself. That was kind of cool for me. Just being a young kid, seeing somebody that was so talented and so different to everybody else, just literally will his team to that position. I vividly remember that, and it was something where I just went, this is special. This guy's special. So, like pretty much like that Iverson taking the Eastern Conference Championship Philly team with Iverson. That was one that I just go, wow, like if he can do it, like anybody can. Apart from that, like it's like any just anything, man. Like I love it. Like I love the NBA. Like you guys, like
that's right.
I watch it religiously. I literally have had NBA League Pass for the last 10 years. Like, MJ is my guy, and I know you guys are going to ask me about this goat, but MJ and LeBron, but anything basketball.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Luke, we've discussed our favorite current NBA players. Who's your favorite current NBA player?
I know. I listen to you boys. I know what it's all about. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I would rather say someone like Alex Caruso or someone like that, just so it kind of creates you guys going, no, well, he's not even that good. But it is LeBron James. LeBron James is my favorite player.
Yeah.
He has been for a very long
He's the
time.
man.
Yeah, he is the man. He has been the man for a very long time. But his ability and what he does on the basketball court, like, again, when he first came in, I mean, it took his rookie year to kind of get acclimated to the league, but ever since then, it's been his league, basically, in my opinion. What he does, no one else
dominated.
can do. He dominates every facet of the game, which is why I like watching him play. That's why I want him to do well, and that's why I wish... that's why I basically followed him. Like I Spurs, but I want the Cavs to win. I wanted Miami to win just because it was LeBron. But now he's gone to the Lakers. I can't cross that bridge, fella. There's one thing I can't do, and that goes to the Lakers.
I mean, some of us did. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. LeBron's my guy, guys. Yep. Boring but true.
Nice. Hey Luke, who's your like greatest of all time player in the NBA?
Well, obviously I just talked about Bron, and everyone's going to get hopped up on that, but I'm a little bit older than you boys. My generation was MJ all the way. Is not even a debate. It's obviously it's a bit different for you guys. Obviously, like I just told you that LeBron's my guy. I like him better than everybody else. I watch him play every single time. I think he's amazing. But what Michael Jordan could do and did at that time when I was young, like just to try and explain to you boys what Michael Jordan was to us at that same time. It's like saying, like, how you feel about LeBron times it by 100, because culturally he was just he was like, man, he was swagged out. Everyone started putting like a freaking armbands on their legs because of Michael Jordan. Like, I mean, like what the hell?
Just playing or casually? Just like casually.
Everybody, man. Like, he changed everything. Like, people, like, you weren't even born yet, but people started wearing pants that weren't friggin' like nut cutters. They were wearing long shorts because of Michael Jordan. Like, everything that everybody does in basketball, man, is because of Michael Jordan. And it's the way it is. Like, and that's my generation. I get the LeBron thing. Like, I'm with you guys with how good he is and what he means to you guys. But in terms of that same question to me, what someone means to me, it's Michael Jordan. And you'll find that the majority are the same, because we know, we saw it, we lived it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish you guys could live it because it was something different. But hey, both of them, for me, if I have to choose a GOAT, I'm going GOAT Michael Jordan, but only because it meant more to me. LeBron is definitely GOAT, 1.2 or greatest athlete of all time, even. Like, just put him in the sky. Like, again, I think it's unfair
100%.
because they both do this. They've both done so much for our game of basketball. So I'll go with Michael to answer the question.
Yes.
Nice.
Thanks.
Okay, Luke, earlier in the podcast, we talked about the NBA lockdown. What are your thoughts about the announcement on Friday that they made?
I'm excited. It's just like we all are. We all want to
Yes,
watch
sir.
it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like you guys started this thing so you can keep talking about basketball. So like, you guys want it as well. You guys don't want to keep talking about it. You want to watch it and talk about something that's actually happening rather than like dreamland. But fellas, I'm just excited to get it back. I think it's been far too long. Felt like it was for ages.
Sure.
I'm also excited to get back on the court, but yeah, like I just think it was too long. Like I feel like they could have been able to make this happen earlier, but again, like I don't know, I don't know the inside goss, but yeah, I'm just glad it's back, man. That's all. Just be grateful.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you think it's fair though, what they've done with like the 8 teams that aren't going? Do you think it's fair? What they've done?
Oh, look again. I think, yeah. I don't know. Like the world's changed so much. I think like you've got to be adaptive, and I think it's going to teach anybody. And it's good for your generation because what it teaches you that you have to change. You can't just be the same. You can't go do the same thing all the time. Like just because we say this is the way we do it, it might change. So like if we say, hey, this is the way we pick our state team, for example, we got to be ready. It might change. We might say, hey, we might have to pick our state team just by watching you guys, on Zoom. You know what I mean? So the NBA is no different. Like, hey, they just sit there and they go, hey, we got to adjust. We have to because we got to keep moving. We can't like come on, man. Some of these teams have won 10 games. Like, go on a holiday. Like, you ain't good enough. Like, next year.
Unlucky.
I'm cool with it. Because I'm like, you don't deserve to be there anyway. Like, you normally would be on holiday, so go have a holiday.
True.
Just wait for the next season.
Yeah.
That's it.
So just talking about like how it's coming back and stuff. If you had to pick a team to win this season, who would you pick? Like
Spurs, man, they're coming all the way. Nah, just kidding. Nah, fellas, I thought about this. I thought about this the other day, and I'm like, look, everybody's going to say Lakers because that was the team to beat when it finished. And I went, you know what? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they pick back up. Like, so much has changed, and they had so much momentum. I don't know if they're going to be the best group of best teams, better equipped to move forward to go win a championship in a short amount of time. I don't know. They could be, but I kind of think they're not. I think that if it ends up going like in a whole playoff series and then it's East versus West, I think the Bucks come out of the East. I think it's their year. I think they're young, they're athletic, they've got good systems, and I think they can pick up where they left off easily. Lakers are going to have there's going to be a bit of time, and they'll go as far as LeBron and AD. But I just think Milwaukee has the depth on the East, and I think they'll run through that. And I think that in the West, I think it will be Lakers, Clippers. And I think based on the depth thing I'm talking about, I think the Clippers might be able to get them in 6 or 7. So I think if the Bucks meet the Clippers, I think the Bucks win it. If it's Lakers, Bucks, I think the Lakers have done enough to kind of win it. But I'll just go with Bucks because I've already just said to you that it's probably, I feel like it could be Bucks, Clippers. So I'm going Bucks. I know it's just, I don't know. I'm not a gambling man. I'm not a gambling man. So do not listen to that like it's gospel. That is probably wrong. But
Bucks are a deep team, though. They are.
But Bucks aren't really good in the playoffs. They choked that two wins.
Yeah, man. But we'll see. Like, we don't know. We'll just replay this. We'll replay this in like 2 months. And then I could look like a genius or look like an absolute.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, we'll see. But Bucks over Clippers, I'm going on that.
Right. Has any players from Queensland played in the NBA or come close that you know?
Do you? Let me put that on you guys. Does anyone know any Queensland players that played in the NBA?
No.
I personally don't.
Really?
Yeah.
You
We
guys are
went through
uneducated.
this,
Come on now.
but we just knew
We didn't know.
What NBA players? Australian NBA players are they?
Delhi.
There's Aaron Baines, Joe Ingles.
Stop. Where's Baines
Is Aaron
from?
Baines?
No.
Where's Bainesy from? Where's he from? Did you Google it?
No.
From Cairns.
No, bro.
He's from Cairns. Come on, boys.
Yeah.
He's actually he's from
we
Mariba.
said that as well.
He's from Mariba. He's from Mariba, which is a small town north of Cairns. And played
wow.
yeah, so Aaron Baines is the Queenslander fellas, and he's probably at the moment he's probably our best performer apart from Benson. So
Yeah.
Bainesy, Nathan Joai played in the NBA as well. He now plays for the Cairns Taipans. He's from Bamaga on the Torres Strait. He also moved over to Cairns, played some years in Cairns. So we've actually had two that actually played in the NBA. So that's both, and I was lucky enough to play with both those guys in my age group. That's probably why I ended up winning. But we've also got like Will McDowell White. Obviously, you guys know the McDowell White. Yeah. Obviously, Will plays G League, so he's kind of like he's right there. He's doing the summer league thing, and Will Magnay was supposed to go over and finish off the season there. Still might. So like we might see Will Magnay there. He's a Brisbane boy. Nudgy.
Yeah.
So we could see another one there. Brock Modem. You guys know Brock Modem. He's had a really good European career. He's played summer league. He's right on the edge. He's almost there. He's had a couple of summer league gigs. Chris Goulding, Spartans boy, Brisbane Caps boy. He played for both, but he's summer league again. He's had his opportunities. He's been almost there. So all those guys have kind of played G League, man. We got Mojave. Mojave's supposed to be in the draft next year. I was lucky enough to coach him last 2 years. So again, Mojave's probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, if he keeps doing everything he's got to do. And Tam Wigness from Cairns. Tamaroo Wigness is there as well, if he does everything right. So
a lot of Cairns boys.
Yeah, hey, fellas, you guys can change that. It's a North Queensland thing. I'm telling you. There's only one person. You guys have got to change it. It's up to you. But hey, funnily enough, I did a bit of research on this and WNBA because we need to talk about WNBA as fellas. We can't talk about the NBA.
Yeah.
Because we got to show them some love. Sandy Brondello and Brianna Toller, both from the Queenslanders that played in the WNBA. So that's North Queensland again. So girls listening, change it. And then there's a couple. So Christy Walsh got drafted. She went to Spartans, and Tiana Mangakahia goes to Syracuse, and she's a good chance to get drafted as well. So there's a lot coming. You guys can be part of that as well. So again, we've had a lot in the last kind of 10 years. Then that's when it's all kind of happened outside of Sandy Brondello. But yeah, a lot of North Queensland fellas. Get some loving.
Yeah.
We're coming up. All right. So Luke, so we've all watched The Last Dance. Have you watched it yet? Obviously, I'd say.
Yeah, of course. I had my shirt on. I was very well.
So, what were your thoughts and takeaways from The Last Dance?
I think, it was different for me. I really enjoyed the first few episodes because I felt like everybody was seeing MJ. I think towards the end, it started getting a little bit more like they were like, it was a bit dirty, like they were getting dirt on people, and it was like he said, she said kind of thing, and it kind of I felt like it was changing what they were talking about. So I kind of personally didn't enjoy it as much in the later episodes because I knew what happened, like I knew the outcome, I knew what happened, but it was kind of like. Yeah, I liked the first few because it was more positive and it was like, this is MJ. And then towards the end, it was kind of like people were starting to kind of like question whether he was a good
pointing
teammate.
the finger.
Yeah, and everyone like, and it kind of became like this thing where like, and then all of a sudden, because everyone loved it, even the media was like, well, MJ was a bad teammate, like no one really actually liked him, but like, I'm like, well, man, he won. Like, that's what he does. Like, he's Michael Jordan. He's different. Like, it to me, and that's what it showed me. It showed me, and hopefully it showed you guys. Like, this is the best player that's ever lived in the game of basketball. But it wasn't necessarily like, yes, he was athletic, and yes, he was talented. But there was one thing that set him apart, right? And that was him, the way he trained, and how competitive he was. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So, the greatest player in the world ever in basketball became the greatest player ever because he worked harder than everyone and he was so competitive that he demanded that from everybody else around him. So they were great as well. So
Yeah.
I think it reminded me what it actually takes. Like, if you want to be great, then you got to be built different, man. You can't be the same as everybody else. You got to think different. You got to act different. You got to be different. You can't be the same. So don't always fit into the box. And that's something as me as a coach try and kind of get across to you guys. It's like, this is who we want you to do these kind of things. We want you to do this style of play, but within that, be creative enough to chase and do things that you think is going to help you be the best you can be. So it probably just reiterated to me how great Michael was, and that in order to be great, you've got to have those extra intangible things like competitiveness and make your teammates better, which is something we always talk about anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you saw at the end of The Last Dance, they talked about how Phil Jackson was the one that actually ended the Bulls, not Jordan and that all leaving. What did you think about that? Did you know who, like, before you watched that, did you think MJ was the one that ended the Bulls, or if they all split up?
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that. Like, I was young, like I was younger than you guys at the time. So like, if you guys don't know that, like, you guys are watching basketball because you're fans of it. So you're watching it as a fan. So you don't care about that stuff. Like, if they move teams, like if KD moved teams, all you care about is what uniform he's wearing and why he did it. But there's always those other reasons behind it. You know what I mean? So at the time, I didn't care. I was like, we're losing the best player ever, but he's done this before to us, so he's just doing it again. You know, like, he'll be back. He'll be back because he did it before. So that's what I thought at the time. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, yeah, when they put it like that, when you get older, you understand that a lot of that happens. Like, that's normal. I think when you're younger, like your age, it's good. You shouldn't know that. Like, you don't need to know that. Like, just enjoy it for what it is. You're fans of basketball. You watch it because you love it and you love them. So be a kid, enjoy it. Don't be me now going, politically, all this stuff. So to answer your question, no, I didn't. And I think right now is you guys should just be like, oh, well, that's kind of a sad ending, but it happened. Yeah. Exactly. So, and I think that's all you can do. You move on. But again, at the time, had no idea. But again, when I saw it, I was surprised. Because I've seen all that so many times now in my professional life, working life. So.
Yeah. Luke, what advice would you have for any players wanting to become a pro basketball player?
Bodie, are you just going to look good there, or are you going to ask questions? What are you going to do? You're just going to sit there?
I have asked questions. I've asked too. They're just like at the start. And at the start of both of them.
That's tough.
He's got his beach hair out. He's just chilling. That's pretty cool. All right. Nah. All good. Fellas, I guess this is a really good question, and one that, like, it's something that we try to get across to you guys, especially as coaches. Like, we're trying to show you the way. We're trying to show you what it's like to be professional. I think that's part of our job. Like, the little things, trying to kind of show you and help you through it and navigate it. But at the same time, balance that out with you guys just being kids, like being like Kamu and rolling your ankle 3 times because he hasn't done his rehab or strapped his ankle, that's something that kids do, you know what I mean? Like, and you shouldn't. Like, we get angry because we're like, Kamu, just strap your ankle and look after yourself. But if I look back to when I was your age, it's you only learn sometimes through being a bonehead, and just not listening to people. So, like, at the same time, I get that. So being a pro for me is like just understanding that it's a process. And if you understand the habits, the people that understand the habits earlier are the ones that are better positioned to succeed. If you constantly do the wrong thing and constantly do what they're telling you not to do, and you don't listen, and you're too stubborn, or you don't, like, that's when we start to go, you may be losing your chance to become a professional. But in terms, like, if I'm talking to you 4 right now, all 4 of you guys can be professionals if you want to. But it relies on so many other different factors. All right. I think first you've got to kind of look at, like, when I was your age, I thought I was going to be a pro just because I was talented as a young kid. But that was me being a bonehead. Like, I didn't think about working extra hard. Like, I didn't stay on top of my, I wasn't physically gifted. So I wasn't kind of working on those things. I just thought it was going to carry over. So first I would say, you need to ask yourself what you think a professional looks like. So we all said we love LeBron, right? So let's talk about LeBron. What does LeBron do that you don't do? Probably
Rehab.
a whole bunch. Yeah, he does rehab. He does prehab.
Spends like
he
a
does
mil on his body every year.
Yeah,
Okay, so take out the money, but again, now we talk. But hey, we talk about that, but now we're talking about barriers, right? So he has an extra mil to spend on his body. How are you gonna get close to LeBron without spending a cent? And you can do things in your everyday life that can make you LeBron James. Like you can practice on this, right? Which is what he does. He says it's a skill. He practices on his mental strength. So things like that, like just understanding what it takes and don't make excuses, because that's something that I felt like I might have done. Like in terms like I couldn't dunk it, right? Because I'm unathletic and I'm 6'1" and I was a combo guard. So I couldn't dunk it, but I used to just not even try because they just said, well, I just hit threes. I just pull up from 3 meters out and drain threes. But I never tried to dunk it because I couldn't do it. So I kind of put myself in a box, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rather than going, you know what, I'm going to get better at that. I'm going to get more athletic. I'm going to do the programs. I'm going to do that. So that was mistakes I made, and I think that really hurt me. So I think knowing who you are, knowing what a pro looks like are the first two steps. So know who you are, know what you need to get better, and then know what a pro looks like an actual pro. Because there's so many professionals out there that aren't actually professional fellas, and you end up like half of these NBA guys, they are not professionals. They don't act like professionals. They don't handle themselves. They don't look after themselves. So for me, it's like who can look after themselves physically and mentally and be on top of their game and be good at that. But like, again, like you look at guys, and look like Matthew Dellavedova, like I worked that guy out, and like the thing that like I learned about Matthew Dellavedova is he's where he is right now because he works 10 times harder than everybody else to a point where he'll make mistakes. So I worked him out. He didn't make a shot for a very long time, and I hope this doesn't get back to him. I hope he doesn't listen to this. He probably won't. But he didn't hit a lot of his shots, and I went after it. He didn't hit any shots. That was weird. He's an NBA player. But then he kind of goes like. Then I go, wait a minute. He went so hard at that skill that he was okay with missing the shot because he knew he was going to get better. So to me, that's kind of what a pro is. They got a long-term view of what they're trying to achieve, and they'll go and work their butt off to do that. But yeah, be disciplined, have good physical traits, whether it's athleticism, or quickness, whatever it is. Good skill and be coachable, fellas, and be like Matthew Dellavedova. That's all I can say.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks, Luke.
Luke, this has been great chatting with you. We really appreciate you giving us your time. Do you think we could get you on another podcast again at some point?
Hey, fellas, when the league's back up and running and we got something to talk about, let's do it. That's awesome. Yeah. Really enjoy it.
Run it back.
Yeah, I like to chew it up with you guys. I really enjoy it. Like I said, thanks for the invite. Really cool what you guys are doing. Just being kids and talking about basketball, it's really cool. Hopefully everyone gets on board, has a listen, and hey, bigger and better next time, fellas.
Yep.
Thanks, Luke.
Okay, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, Luke.
No worries, fellas. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in a few
Thanks.
weeks, huh?
Yeah.
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 See you then.
They are.
Yeah. See ya.
Laters.
If she do it, I say so too. Big 40s and a big Draco. 3 more millions when you ask how my day go. Poured up a phone, now the blueberry fango.